how fun, enjoyable, laughing and exciting and playful is your personal growth journey or your spiritual growth journey? You know, have you thought about it like that before? Or is your personal growth and the time you spend really working on yourself and really digging into the soil, as we talk about here on this channel, of personal and spiritual growth, is it more of a serious thing? Well, I've got something for you today to enlighten you in a new way and bring a different kind of energy to your experience. So come on, join me as we dig into the soil of this together. Welcome to you, my friend. I am D. Grant Smith. I am the growth farmer for personal development through the lens of spirituality and storytelling, and this time through the lens of a different kind of perspective to shine on what this whole process is like and to show you some ways to bring a different kind of energy into our development into the best versions of ourselves. Also, something you'll find here on this channel and the collection of videos that I have, and it goes back quite a while. I'm only becoming more frequent in putting stuff like this together because I am having more fun with the process. But there's a lot of great videos here that talk about how to become the best version of yourself, personal growth, spirituality, self-love, inner healing, and a whole lot more. And if you want even more from me and a lot of the things I'm going to be sharing with you today, kind of little teasers and tips and what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, appetizer. If you've known me for a long time, you'll know exactly what the link to that is. But I've got a lot more stuff to share with you to really bless you and inspire you and help you become the best version of yourself and have fun with the process. And all of it is at growthfarming.com. Okay, so let's dig into the soil of this idea that personal growth and spirituality and us connecting more with God and us becoming the best version of ourselves, and it has to be such hard work, or it also has to be such serious stuff. What if that's not true? Would you like that more? I personally would like that more. And that's what I'm interested in and invested in, actually doing that in my own life and in doing that with the people that I work with in the community that I'm building. So let's dig into this together. When you look at the personal growth journey, does it seem like a lot of hard, serious work that we have to do? I think so, because so much of it is doing what? Getting into our inner belief systems, digging into the soil of our mind garden, getting into the subconscious mind, unearthing our negative beliefs, seeing past traumas, dealing with stuff that has caused us pain. All of that's really serious stuff. And the discipline that it takes in changing our own inner narrative, our inner story, our self-concept, in all the subconscious programming can be a very arduous task. Learning how to put ourselves first instead of playing the old game of codependency, people pleasing, and the patterns that we see all around us where we prioritize other people and other things over ourselves, putting others on a pedestal while we put ourselves down below, man, that, and then changing that, removing anything that's on a pedestal in our lives, and putting, whether we're putting us on the pedestal or we're just elevating ourselves up to a better place where we prioritize ourselves first, that can be really challenging because we're not used to it. We're used to the other way around. And so with all of this work that we're doing, all these challenging things that we're now being brought into, that can seem like really serious stuff. And yeah, in a way it is. But what if there was also a way in the midst of all of this work to bring a little fun and entertainment and enjoyment into this process? Well, that's what I'm working on, figuratively speaking. That's what I am embodying and becoming one with and embracing a new way of thinking and being. And that's what I want to share with you here, because if I can do it, you certainly can do it. I've got actually a resource that I'll link down below called Why So Serious? It's a way of me putting in words, more than I'm going to put here in this video, just for the sake of your time, ways and means to go about this process of adding everything that I've said here, fun, enjoyment, entertainment, and this lot more light-hearted nature to our spiritual growth and our personal development that makes this process more fun and less about having to do the hard work. But one of the reasons why I teach spiritual truths through storytelling is for this purpose, because when we think about things through the lens of story, it transforms the nature of the perspective that we're looking at things from. Think about it like this. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're a big fan of folks like Dr. Wayne Dyer or Neville Goddard or Dr. Joe Dispenza or Eckhart Tolle or Florence Scovel Shen, or I could keep rattling off names of people that you've probably read and probably studied and been like, yes, I'm going to dig into this stuff. I'm going to learn how to change the way that I am. I'm going to change my state of being, I'm going to change my state of consciousness so I can fully step into love, abundance, prosperity, peace, joy, wishes fulfilled, dreams come true, all of that stuff. Have you spent time scrolling through as you're changing and as you're looking at yourself and as you're looking at life differently? Have you wanted to see something on film that illustrates the work that you're doing? Maybe you've scrolled through Amazon Prime or Netflix or Disney Plus or fill in the blank streaming media platform looking for a story that illustrates personal transformation in this spiritual sort of context, changing the story from within. Something other than maybe the based on a true story form. It turns out that there are actually a lot of great films out there that illustrate different pieces of what our personal growth and our personal transformation look like. And I'll drop a few of them right now. Watch First Contact. Beautiful story, made in the late 90s, I think, with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. I watched that one recently. I'm going to do another video about some of the spiritual insights into that movie because it's really profound. Another great film on spiritual awakening, Free Guy, with Ryan Reynolds. Pretty much the entire movie is all about what the spiritual awakening process is like, and it's brilliant. But at the same time, a lot of my favorite teachers, folks I mentioned just a few minutes ago, most of their teachings and a lot of their teachings have not been translated over into story form for us to see what that looks like and have a different interpretation or perspective on how to interpret these teachings. But what I've found in my own journey, what I've been led into, is actually, as a deep thinking person that usually sees the story behind the story behind the story in just about everything, I'm embracing that what God has given me is the ability and the capacity to take the lesson underneath the lesson or the story behind the story inside my favorite teacher's work and translate that over into a short fiction narrative that encapsulates exactly what it is that is being taught by these people, but does so in a different way. And using a combination of entertainment, enlightenment, and education through a fictional narrative. So what is an example of that from what I've done? Let me tell you about one of the stories that I've published this year called The Saturn of Utopia. It illustrates all of this very well. It's kind of like a cross between The Martian and Avatar. In it, there's a scientist named Walter, and he travels to this distant planet that he discovered that the whole planet emits an energy frequency. Actually, it emits two energy frequencies. One is the energy of peace, and the other is the energy of abundance, and it emits this on a Hertz frequency. And Walter, being a scientist and somebody that wants to help change the world and improve it, and maybe in some ways he has a bit of a savior complex, but what hero fan doesn't? What he wants to do is he wants to bring healing to the world. He wants to eradicate poverty. He wants to eradicate sickness. He wants to end war. He wants to bring peace. And he reasons in his mind that if I can go to this other planet where the whole planet emits an energy frequency of abundance and peace, that means they don't know what poverty is. They don't know what war is. And if I can find their secret, I can bring that secret back to Earth. And we here on Earth can live in peace and we can live in abundance and not have the problems that all of us struggle with. Again, Sounds kind of like Avatar, right? Once he gets to the other planet and he makes contact with somebody and he has these conversations and he's asking these questions, what he discovers is something completely different than what he was expecting. And as he talks to this one particular person named Bella, he learns that the real secret to living in peace is something that actually isn't very hard to find, but it does take him doing things very differently. He learns that he has to change his equilibrium. He has to change the way that he goes about seeing himself, the way he goes about seeing the world, and she shows him exactly how to do that. Now, I'm not going to give away what that secret is because my hope is that you will read or listen to this story for yourself and have your own unique experience. It's not my job to tell you what to experience in anything that I create or anything that I do. It's my hope that by pointing you towards it, divine love, aka God, will point you in the direction to show you something for your specific unique journey. But I'll put a link down below for you to experience the Saturn of Utopia for yourself. And when you buy it, you get both the ebook and the audiobook together. So whether you're somebody that prefers to read things or you're somebody that prefers to listen to things or even do both at the same time, you get to have that option. What do you think about the idea of bringing a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of enjoyment, and maybe even a little bit of fantasy, science fiction perspective into our spiritual and our personal growth process? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment down below and let me know what you think. If you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't done that already as well. And if you've enjoyed any part of this and you're curious about wanting to know more, I invite you to connect with me more at growthfarming.com. I love you, I appreciate you, I bless you, and I wish you the best and most prosperous, abundant, and amazing day, my friend. I'll see you again soon.